I'm sure that there will be people who completed their assignment who have something to say today, as we do. Bob's Movie Club.
I love movies. Bob's Movie Club.
Oh, yeah.
We got some movies for you. Bob's Movie Club. Bob's Movie Club. Movies are great.
You love movies.
I love movies.
That was very
Movies are
smooth,
great.
by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Maddie's out. He's at some podcast convention or something.
I forget. He
don't
told
know.
me
He
like
flew
40
away. I
different
know.
times.
You know, when we talked about that, yes, I was going to, sometimes we stop the whole show to talk about one thing and it becomes like, I'll let it pass.
Yeah.
There's a moment where he was talking about how he's going to go talk at this big podcasters thing, and he's a name in the podcast business of sorts, but then he was talking about how he prepped his whole presentation on ChatGPT, and I thought, why? You don't have to go do this. You could just say, I have a job. I'm going to stay at work.
Mm-hmm.
But he's having that and flying out, and then he's just going to regurgitate whatever.
That's his other job. He's a CEO at that company. That's why he's going to that.
He's got a lot of jobs.
He's got like 5 jobs.
I can't keep him all straight.
I know. Oh,
he
my
did
God.
that long before he became the CEO of a podcast company, though. He just does these speaking things, doesn't he?
He had his own company, so he would go to. In fact, I think he still sort of has his own company, and he was the CEO of that.
Well, anyway,
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't belabor it because I just, okay, go do whatever you're going to do,
Right.
dude.
Back to Bob's Movie Club.
Yes,
Right.
oh, please.
May.
Sorry. Pat.
Today we're talking about The Social Network. The year is 2003. Clothes are Y2K. People are wearing suits or close to it to work. But one man's hoodie and Adidas slides are about to change everything.
Oh.
The Social Network was directed by David Fincher, famously directed Fight Club, Seven, Gone Girl, and The Speedy Dialogue, which is honestly my favorite part of this movie, is written by Aaron Sorkin, who did The West Wing,
Yeah.
Newsroom,
I didn't know
Molly's
that, but I'm
Game.
not surprised.
Yes. This movie has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's kind of in the news right now because since, we just finished 2025, a lot of people have been looking at, the 2000s by a specific quarter, like as a whole. And this movie is ranking in the top of the movies between 2000 and 2025 as like one of the best movies.
When did it come out?
2010.
2010. And when did Facebook debut?
2003.
Oh, boy.
2003, 2004, I think.
Okay.
And then, but obviously it only started at Harvard and then slowly expanded to other colleges. I got it in 2008. When did you guys get Facebook?
Probably around then. I remember my niece came out and I was like, oh, yeah, what are you on MySpace? She goes, pfft. Facebook is where it's at.
Oh, I forgot about MySpace was before.
Yeah.
So I'd gotten on MySpace. I was living in Eugene, Oregon at the time, and I got on MySpace, and I really did feel like a computer programmer as I put up my page. I was like, this is amazing. I'm getting to,
I picked a background.
doing
I'm
all this
writing
stuff.
things about myself.
But the buzz in that town soon became about Facebook because that's a college town. So all the kids were getting on
of
Facebook
course.
at University of Oregon or, the Ducks, but no one else could get on. You had to have an invite. So it was really interesting.
When did that change?
I don't remember, but I do remember that, I was hearing about it and thinking I better get, hip to this thing. And people were going, you can't get on unless you have a specific.
Like an edu.com.
It had to be
Yes.
an edu. And I thought, okay.
Fine. I won't do it then.
It was black and white. It was, this is for college kids. Okay. The end.
And then it expanded and all the young people were on it. And then eventually everyone's parents got on it and now it's no longer cool.
What's
No
cool now?
What's cool now?
Yeah.
Nothing. Social media is not cool.
No, but
Oh my
TikTok is the thing
Which
that
we'll talk about.
people are into. And I'm sure there'll be another one soon enough as well. But TikTok, I would bet.
I don't think it's easy to make business exciting in a movie. The Big Short does that really well. This movie does that really well with kind of including the three, everybody. I mean, this movie is not completely factual, of course. We'll never know for sure what Mark Zuckerberg's true motivations were. And they leave out a lot of stuff. But I think it's so interesting that they kind of have three unreliable narrators in this movie. Obviously, Mark Zuckerberg, the Winklevosses or whatever their names are, and Eduardo, and how they cut really quickly back and forth between the trial and quote unquote what actually happened. And it's so fast paced, of course, because of the dialogue, but also because of the editing.
It's wonderful.
It's so fun to watch. And a lot of times when I feel like Mark's not even an anti-hero because I'm not rooting for him, but you just kind of want to see how it plays out.
Yes. What happened? We all know Facebook. And it is exciting, too, as you watch this thing sort of grow and get out of control and be crazy.
Right. And that even when the movie came out, Facebook had exploded. Like, for example, when they were making the tagline for the movie, they originally wrote it as, you don't make 300 million friends without making a few enemies, because at that time, Facebook had 300 million members or whatever you want to call it, users. But while they predicted, they're like, it's growing so fast, I bet we could take a shot and put 500 million on the poster. And by the time the movie came out, they were correct. Like, it had already reached 500 million. It was growing. It was so much bigger already when they made this movie than the story that they're telling. And compared to 2010 to now, 16 years later, it's a whole conglomerate. Now they don't even just call it Facebook anymore. It's Meta.
Yeah. It's just one everything. Division of this gigantic company. And what's crazy to me that I noticed in this movie is we're still in the millions. We're still in the, like, million seems like a lot of money. And even the, like, 1 billion, you know what's cool?
Right.
$1 billion. Like, just the inflation and the acceptance of the B instead of the M between whenever this movie came out, 2010, I think you said, and right now it's incredible. Like, and it's just the sums of money, like Eduardo giving him $18,000. It's like so basic. Right. So it just feels like, so that he gave him no money. Basically.
It's amazing that he was able to move out to California for the summer on $18,000.
Right. No one could do that.
It's kind of funny. One of my favorite parts of the movie, and one that I found myself reciting, which I guess I must have seen it a lot in clips over the years, is when there's two of my favorite parts. The first one is when they are in one of the depositions and the lawyer asks Mark, hey, like, do I have your full attention? And he's like, no, my full attention are back at the offices of Facebook doing things that nobody in this room, including and especially your clients, are intellectually or creatively capable of doing. So, like, you're getting a portion of my attention, the minimum amount. And it's just so, he's such a jerk.
He's such a jerk.
And they kind of redeem him at the end with, was that Rashida Jones who's playing that lawyer? And I don't even know if he deserved a redemption kind of moment.
I don't think there is any redemption there.
Yeah.
I don't at all.
Yeah.
There are a couple things that first of all, I love this movie.
Yeah.
I watched it when it came out. I don't remember watching it in that I'm not even sure if I saw it with my wife, but who else? Like, you know what I mean? I'm going, but I rewatched it and went, this movie is excellent. Like so
as a movie telling a great story.
The story, I'm all in, and as I'm watching it, I'm going, what genre is this? This isn't a documentary. What is this?
I'm so glad you brought that up, because you know what takes this movie from a really good movie to one of the best movies of the early 2000s is the music.
Yes.
And that
you were playing it. That I was so hypnotized by the music in that, just that simple piano line that they're playing through the whole beginning of it.
It's almost like a thriller, the way they do the music. That's spooky, that
Intrigue.
Piano.
It is spooky.
And then the music is done by 9 Inch Nails, who they won one of the 3 Oscars that this movie got for the score. And they've gone on to do a lot. This movie changed the trajectory of movie score, because it's so synth, it's so electronic, it's so industrial, it's so cool.
Right?
Yeah,
it's really simple. It's cool.
Yeah,
yep.
You hear it and you go, I like it. You can, most of the time, music enhances the movie, but you don't really
notice it
right.
Because it's it enhances the scene, and you're falling for everything on the screen, but you're still watching the movie. You're not stopping and go. I absolutely thought of the music more than once as I was watching this movie, going, I forgot how freaking cool this movie was.
I completely forgot how cool that movie is.
How is it not on a list? But part of the reason is, and I don't say this, I don't know Zuckerberg, and he's just this character in our lives, right? We don't know him.
He's a mime.
He is a beehole, though. There's no question. Like, there's a point in this movie where the guy that he starts this whole thing with goes, I was your one friend. Your one friend. And I gave you the money and helped you. Like, this, you're just looking at it, and he's just sitting there stone face.
Right.
And you still really haven't
It's
heard
psychotic.
that he's the guy that wrote the story about the chicken. And you got to watch the movie to understand, but he drags his friend through the gutter so that he can sit there and look at him and be above him, even though he socially was accepted into some club that's what this Zuckerberg's mad about.
He was jealous.
Right.
Why didn't they invite me?
You rushed some...
Right, secret society.
Yeah, and then you got
club.
in and I didn't get in. It's just so petty.
Right, it's childish.
And
yet he's brilliant.
Yeah, like it's really shocking as you see. And again, it's not a documentary, so we don't know that's how that went.
Right.
But that's how he's painted in this, as just petty and small, and it's ugly.
Yeah. And his motivations are based on him wanting to belong. Like, he doesn't feel like he's getting validation socially from girls. He's not getting it from his peers. So it's like, let me build something that nobody can deny. And that's a really interesting motivation when you are playing with, I guess you don't even realize it at the time, but like everybody's lives were deeply impacted by this. And he is coming from a place of loneliness. And even at the end of the movie, when he's still, trying to get a friend request from that girlfriend who dumped him at the beginning of the movie, which is not completely accurate, but it's like, you're like, social media doesn't cure loneliness. There's a lot of great things that come out of it. I've been able to stay in touch with people who I would have lost to time otherwise, but it has also increased loneliness and isolation in a lot of ways. And go ahead.
You're listening to Bob's Movie Club, and the movie we're talking about is The Social Network from 2010, which I think it seems unanimous. We all loved it.
Finally.
I know.
Oh, what a win.
I was like, I've seen that. And then I watched it and went, I am so freaking glad that I saw that again.
Yeah.
Like, I had completely forgotten how great that movie is. Just like technically, my attention was kept the whole time. It was great. Go on.
What's weird about having chosen this movie is we just recently heard they're going to do a second one.
Yes.
And I had a dead reaction to that.
Like, who cares?
I did. I just went, well, yeah. And then I rewatched the movie, and now I'm like, yeah, we know a lot of stuff went down. We know so I don't know how they'll get that written. I sure as hell hope they keep, what's that kid's name who played Zuck?
Jesse Eisenberg.
They gotta have him.
He's already saying he's not doing it.
Aaron Sorkin, so the writer of the original, is writing the sequel, and he's also directing it. Which he's not a super established director, so we'll see how that goes. Obviously, but I think the second movie is going to have a very different vibe because the story is very different now.
I feel like Facebook changed the world in so many ways. Like, really, to look back at just 2010, 15 years ago, when that movie came out, like, it just feels like a whole different, like, the world, these people, like, there's more Zuckerbergs out there. There's all these, people figuring out how to monetize stuff. And like, him taking the whole stance where, there's not gonna be any advertising on this. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, well, that didn't last forever.
Yeah, that's so funny. Eduardo was right? Like, Mark and Sean Parker didn't want to rush making the platform have ads, but Eduardo was completely right. And now Facebook is arguably, that's all it is a place to sell ads, as with a lot of social media. So it's kind of ironic that he got screwed out of it.
But if you think about this, and Zuckerberg is not a cool guy.
No.
He's just not. And I don't mean that as a mean thing to say to some other human being. I just mean you'd never look at him and be like, cool, damn, that guy's got it.
Yeah.
I want to dress like that, or I want to act like none of that.
I want to be a mime.
Zuckerberg. He's just not that guy, but he was smart enough to know this is cool right now because it's exclusive. because everybody can't get in. And as they opened it up, it grew at a rate that you were just talking about. They show this in the movie. They're in the Palo Alto location on a big screen watching them go, what is it, 1 million?
Yep.
They go 1 million people on Facebook, and they're all, yay, we made. And that probably started to snowball at a speed that no one could even bother to watch.
Right.
You know, like they probably went from 1 million to 2 million because they went, that happened yesterday.
Yeah. We're talking about The Social Network from 2010. One of the best parts of this movie is Andrew Garfield in general. This movie is very pro Eduardo. Like he is probably,
yeah, it is.
He does kind of look like an idiot, but he's just a kid.
Well, right. He's just doing. He's good faith in it the whole way through.
Well, but that's the key to the I'm your one real friend. I was here before any of this stuff, and there's Zuckerberg's stone face,
just dead face, right?
And it's because part of him is so freaking small, and those dumb little revenge tactics that he put in motion. It's not something I'm even capable of.
Yeah. And the foreshadowing in this movie, I want to play Eduardo's moment at the end because it's so fun. But I love the foreshadowing that even in 2010, you didn't realize how accurate it was, is that he is trying so hard to be cool, and it doesn't matter how much money you have. To this day, he is not looked at as cool. Like all people do is trash on him, especially the decisions that he's made with the company and the bad impacts that it's had. But it's like no amount of money is going to get you to be belonged, like to feel part of
money
society.
Can't buy you cool.
No, money can't buy you cool. You just got to be yourself. Okay, I need to play Eduardo's moment because it's just one of the best parts of the movie.
All right, here we go.
You signed the papers. You set me up. You're gonna blame me because you were the business head of the company and you made a bad business deal with your own company?
It's gonna be like I'm not a part of Facebook.
It won't be like you're not a part of Facebook. You're not a part of Facebook.
My name's on the masthead.
You might want to check again.
It's because I froze the account?
You think we were gonna let you parade around in your ridiculous suits pretending you were running this company?
Sorry! My Prada's at the cleaners! Along with my hoodie and my you flip-flops! You pretentious...
Security's here. You'll be leaving now?
I'm not signing those papers.
We will get the signature.
Tell me this isn't about me getting...
The guy who comes out looking even worse than Zuckerberg is Sean Parker.
Oh.
Yeah. And I forgot JT was the guy until I saw him in the bed, and I went, oh my God, I forgot.
He is so good in this. He's
great in this.
In 2010, this is before his big comeback album in 2013 with like Mirrors and the 2020 Experience. So he has this reputation from being in NSYNC, and he's still cool, but he's not really like in the zeitgeist. So it's such an interesting casting choice, and he is so good in it. He plays such a tool, and now I feel like his reputation is not.
Oh, he
he's very
peaked
cool
with this movie.
Yes, and like right
in a lot
after.
of ways,
little
yeah.
like 5-year block,
Yep.
he peaked, and it's been kind of downhill since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys think it would be cool to listen to Mark Zuckerberg's actual reaction to the
Yes.
movie?
Oh my God, I would love to hear it.
Okay.
So this is from 2010.
This is from last year.
Oh. He had something to say last year about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Let me make sure I'm in the right spot.
Yeah, yes.
That would be great.
Oh,
You know, it was.
It would help if I had the volume up.
Okay. Here we go.
To Facebook.
Sorry.
it's okay. I do want to hear
I
this.
guess maybe because they have.
Yeah,
You know
put
what?
it back
Never
to the
mind.
beginning. No,
Never
no.
mind.
What does
I'm
he
not in the
say?
right
Just
spot.
tell me
but
what
I
he
can tell you
says.
what he says. So he decides to take the whole company to see the movie when it comes out. He's like, everybody's going to see it. Everyone's going to be talking about it. So I might as well get out in front of it. And he says they get all of the small details right, like down to his exact hoodie, his exact T-shirts. But he says that the overall narrative of like, started Facebook because I wanted to get girls is not accurate at all. And I'm like, that's kind of adds to the movie because that's personally not my read of what they're saying. That it's not
That was his takeaway.
Yeah, that's his takeaway. It's like, oh, it's not because I wanted to get girls. Like I was already dating Priscilla, his now wife still. So I think that's funny because personally I think it's not just about girls. It's about like that you feel like you couldn't belong.
Right.
And he's
honestly,
like,
it was about who he was as a human being. Like no other person could have dreamed this thing up and screwed over all the people that they did without sort of this broken bird inside them, you know?
Absolutely. And he says that.
But he narrowed it down to, I could get girls.
Yeah, and
cool.
he's like, I don't understand the connection between Face Mash, the thing he's making in the beginning when he's rating the girls, the quote unquote prank, and Facebook. And he's like, there's not really a connection between those two. Like, one was a prank, one was a really big, ambitious project. And it's funny that people just conflate them because they both have face in the name. It's like, dude, the reason that you got the idea, it's all was a chain reaction.
Right.
And even though the movie's not 100% accurate, we're talking about The Social Network, by the way, Mark Zuckerberg's villain origin story. But it's not just that, it's all a chain reaction, because he does that prank and then it gets the attention of the Winklevosses, who give him the idea, and then he starts Facebook. So it's funny to me that he didn't see any of the truth in it, which I guess is his prerogative.
Yes. He gets to see whatever he wants, and he'll pay you to go away.
It was neat along the way. There were little moments where he gets an idea and you see it where he goes, you need to put your relationship status on here because everyone wants to meet someone, and this is the way that they're going to be doing that. And there's these little like moments where
really neat.
He runs off and everyone's like, what? And because he's realizes, I've got to add this to this before we go live. And you just go, wow, it was snowballing in real time for him at that time, as opposed to this one finished idea.
Yeah.
Like I think that's neat for anything, whether it's songwriting, whatever, where someone goes, I had a germ of an idea, and then someone's,
put a strike of lightning on it and
twanged on a string, and I went, oh, that's it. We're in G sharp or whatever. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like
whatever.
Just whatever. That thing made the whole thing sing.
415 says, if you look around, this is what makes the movie so great. This is exactly why the world has been taken over by a handful of billionaires. They're all trying to be accepted into the cool kids club. They can't buy that, and they'll never stop chasing it. Eduardo nailed it. I love that.
Let's do our ratings. We're actually getting
Let's do it.
Go ahead. You want to start?
Oh.
You don't have to.
I think this is a 5-star movie because it also makes you think, and it's even ahead of its time in some of the points it makes about social media and belonging. So 5 stars for me. Vin?
I also am 5 stars, but I still am tripping that I cannot genre this movie. I don't know how to. I know that not everything gets in a box, and maybe that's why it's so good.
It's not a heist. It's
just,
not.
I'm watching
certainly
it,
not a
and
comedy.
I'm like, I love this. But if someone said, "Well, so is it a mystery?" No.
Right.
Is it a no?
It's kind of an origin story, and that's the only thing that really sort of fits.
I give it 5 stars, though. I think this movie is excellent. I really, upon rewatching it, was like, I am so glad I saw this again. Because I don't remember loving it this much, but it is great.
Sarah, Social Network?
I am also a 5-star on Social Network. And I am also really grateful that I watched this again. I think from a technical standpoint, like in movie making, like editing, music, I guess the sets and whatever. I didn't actually even pay that much attention to those, but and the acting is great. Like I feel like technically it's a super good movie. And then I think that the subject matter was fascinating, and it's something that's such a part of all of our lives that I felt like I felt connected to it, and I loved the difference between only 15 years ago and now, sort of our thoughts about the way things are in the world, and it's absolutely great.
Well said. This is a Bob's Movie Club first, and all around 5 stars. Amazing.
It'll probably never happen again.
Definitely not. I would be shocked.
Can we go back for 1 second? So you know who's going to play Zuck in the new movie? And why did Jesse say no? He has him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why he said no. I don't think he's been asked about it in an interview yet, because last time he was asked about it, a few years ago, it was like, I'm open to any job. He's so awkward and cute. But the rumors are that the guy from Succession, I'm blanking on his name, like the eldest boy.
Oh, I don't know.
He plays a lot of characters.
I'm looking up why he won't play Zuck again.
It just seems to me like he would slide right into that role and make the movie. He'd make the movie.
Jeremy Strong. is rumored to be playing Mark Zuckerberg. And he's known for really becoming characters. So I think he'll do a great job, especially now that, frankly, Mark's personality is different now. He's had 20 years of media training since Facebook was created.
Yeah. Listen to this. Jesse Eisenberg won't play Mark Zuckerberg again, particularly in the sequel, The Social Reckoning, because he's distanced himself from the real Zuckerberg, finding his current actions problematic and not wanting to be associated with him, stating that he's grown into something else and disagrees with the tech billionaire's approach to content, fact-checking, and safety on meta platforms. He initially found the character understandable, but his perception of the real man has shifted.
Fair.
Interesting. He's taking a stand.
Yeah.
I love
he said,
that.
I don't want to think of myself as associated with somebody like that. When you play a character, you feel, at some point you've grown into something else. And he says he's a little bit sad about Zuckerberg's choices. Those are just quotes from him.
For the record, and I read this just this morning as I knew I'm doing my prep for the show and reading the news, 1,000 Bay Area Meta employees are being laid off
today,
week.
Right. Or this week.
It's like, and the Meta thing is interesting because that'll have to be part of this. He nailed it the first time, but since then it's been, I'll buy Instagram. I'll buy WhatsApp.
I can't wait to see what he puts in this movie. Like, I am definitely seeing this movie, especially having been reminded. I probably wouldn't have if you hadn't reminded us. Thank you, Bob's Movie Club.
Yeah, thanks everybody for watching The Social Network.
All right.
Sarah and Vinny on Alice.
Have a very nice day at work.
Alice at 97.3.